In case anyone is wondering what's motivating me to make so many of these entries about my whatever with Lisa, it has to do with the Tad email. The um, email that Lisa and Tad were exchanging or chatting or whatever it was back and forth. I cannot believe the the tone and the words and so much of it that I um, talked about. That there's so many things that are just so like sometimes he screams at me for hours and tells me that he does not give a shit about my feelings or emotional bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly what I say. Yeah, that's how I spend all my time. Um, yeah, yeah, that's what I do every time I talk to her. Never mind the fact that I often start things out by saying, "Hey, this is messed up," or "This is wrong," or "How do you think this is going to work?" And my answers are anger and such. Yeah, I spend all my time yelling at her and telling her I don't give a shit about her feelings. It's regularly how I answer the phone. I pick up the phone and go, "Hey, I don't give a shit about your feelings." Um, yeah, if you were really even to attempt to get anywhere close to the sort of stuff that I say, it's usually more along the lines of, um, there was a little thing that I said the other day, pretty much sums it up. You know, I don't give a shit how you feel. Do what you think is right. If you feel like something hurts or is bad, or you don't feel like you want to do it, but you still know it's right, do it anyway. Yeah, that is such a gross oversimplification. It's just, I honestly don't think that the trip was going to turn to be such a disaster. I thought things would be so much different if we were one on one. When he was here, he started about not listening to him when I tried pulling off his pants in the bedroom, and he didn't want it. Um, uh, and it's weird if you add the phrase "and he said he didn't want it" or "when," that statement makes perfect sense, and seems perfectly reasonable. Like, wow. Um, some of the times were wrong. When this is Lisa again, we talked to Chairs about a half an hour before you showed up the last night. Up that night, when we got home, I had mentioned how I would like him to sing to me at our wedding. He then asked me if I thought there would be a wedding with these notebook problems. Now, bear in mind, I've said that the notebook problems are huge and that I don't think that's the way love is. And I think that working on these things, not doing them, is something that stands between any kind of future we would have. It's the same as if one of us wanted kids and the other didn't want kids. It's it's a deal breaker. We have to literally sit and, or if not sit down, figure out what's going to change. We can't, we couldn't be happy if she's doing the things that are in the notebook and I hate it. It's just not going to work. And then, so I asked her, hey, I didn't ask if I thought there would be a wedding. I asked her, hey, have I mentioned that I don't want to marry anyone who does the sort of stuff that's in the notebook? And she wouldn't answer the question. And so I pointed out, hey, I have talked about this a bunch of times. I just want you to realize that I talk about this a lot, and it's kind of weird to me that you don't remember it. And if you don't like it, that's one thing, but if you choose not to answer and you say, yeah, we're going to get married, even though I said that I wouldn't, and you're doing the stuff in the notebook, to me, that's going to seem a little crazy. And that's also going to be another one of those times where my talking doesn't matter much. And the response that I got was, I said I hoped we could get married regardless. And then she says his response was to refuse to have sex with me the entire time we were here. Also, there was the fact for a few other things involved with that. There was in fact a few other things involved in that response. Doesn't mention any of that stuff, such as me trying to seduce him into sex after he said he didn't want to because he was tired, and then me saying he acted like Alan, which Alan is her abusive boyfriend who um, used to stick hot dogs up his ass, put in condoms, which I actually had a conversation with him about, which was amusing beyond belief. And Alan is also the person who tried to get her, I believe, to strip so that some homeless guy who had drugs could masturbate to looking at her body and then would give Alan some of the drugs. That's the guy she compared me to. Yeah. So, wow.